Nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to today's special episode of the Brooklyn Show. I am here with Anastasia Plakius. Did I get it right?
You nailed it.
I nailed it? Yes. We are at the Brooklyn Grange, and a lot of you are probably like, what's the Brooklyn Grange? I'm not going to answer. Should we answer after we come up?
I think that sounds good.
Right? Because this is pretty remarkable. This is the Brooklyn Grange. Dun, 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 dun. We need some like Superman music. Superman music
for
dun,
Super
dun, dun,
Farm.
dun, for Super Farm.
There
Is that what you
you
guys
go.
call yourself? Super
No.
Farm?
No.
Not at
we
all.
just call ourselves a rooftop farm typically. But
So now so obviously, well, I guess let's just introduce this. Brooklyn Grange is a rooftop farm.
that's right. We are a 2.5 acre rooftop farm. We're on 2 rooftops, one in Long Island City, Queens, and one here in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And we grow and sell produce for sale to chefs, restaurants, and our local community members. We also host events, everything from corporate retreats to weddings. And we design, install, and maintain green spaces from indoor potted plants on up to rooftop farms for third-party clients.
So you guys are botanical experts? Is it safe to say?
Yeah, sure. We'll say that.
Is it safe to say? I mean, I think it's safe to say because I'm looking at this. I mean, again, for our viewers in Tennessee, okay, we are on a Brooklyn rooftop right now. Look at this. I mean, this is a remarkable garden or farm, whatever we want to call this, for anywhere in the country, and we happen to be on a rooftop right now.
And we're seeing a real urban farmer.
Oh,
in his
real
natural
urban farmer,
habitat.
man. Nice. What?
How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
How many
Nice.
pounds of greens did you guys think you harvested this morning?
Almost 300.
Almost 300 pounds of greens.
300 pounds of
all in a
greens.
day's work, huh?
When you say
Awesome.
like greens, what's green?
Salad
Like
greens.
salad greens.
So 300 pounds of salad.
Dude, that's awesome.
So that's like,
Boston lettuce? Boston lettuce?
not quite.
Mustard
No.
mix, arugula.
Try that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really good. What is this?
That's arugula.
This is arugula.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
Never ceases.
Never.
A lot of comings and
you
goings.
guys.
Hey, take
That's
care.
funny.
Have a good one.
Can we walk around? Can
Yeah,
we
let's walk around.
show us your favorite
I would
spots of
love
this
to.
rooftop garden?
Yeah, we're gonna
Farm.
we're
Sorry, I keep
farm.
saying garden.
That's okay. That's okay. So
Oh my God, it's
you're
amazing.
gonna see a lot of salad greens. That's our bread and butter here at the farm. It's something we can grow super consistently. It grows really well in our soil.
Your clients are like, I mean, you don't need to name off your clients.
That's okay. They're all listed on our website because we really love the folks who support us. All
Yeah.
those restaurants, chefs, and small mom and pop grocers who account for about 70% of what we sell. So wholesale is just a tremendously efficient way for growers to sell their food, right? We love our farmers markets. We do 2 a week, one at our farm in Long Island City, Queens on Saturdays, another one in Greenpoint, McGolrick Park on Sundays. But to be honest with you, standing there selling produce for 7 hours, it's a little bit less efficient
If you
than
have
cranking
distributors.
it out and just throwing it in the van and getting it out directly to your wholesale account. So we have we balance the two, and then possibly our favorite way of getting folks produce is through our CSA, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture. This is folks who sign up for a share of our produce, like back in the winter before we're growing anything at all, and then every week throughout the season they come and pack their bag with whatever we're harvesting that week for them. So they get a share of the season's produce. And if it's a terrible year for tomatoes, they're gonna suffer through a terrible year for tomatoes. But if it's a great year for tomatoes, they're gonna get 3 times the value of what they spent on tomatoes.
So it like works like a
really
co-op, sort of.
just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
you're sharing in the successes and the struggles of the season with the farmer. So it's kind of a really great way to engage with the farm.
And I'm pretty much a moron. Like
Yeah,
certainly when it
no,
comes to
that's
this.
okay.
So, and I think my viewers are morons too.
Great.
So I'm gonna ask questions, and if they're moronic,
Please.
please don't make fun of me.
I'm gonna let you in on
Right.
something.
Yeah, okay.
When we started this business back in 2010,
Yeah.
I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I grew up in the West Village.
Okay.
I'd had one short season of urban gardening under my belt. Before that, all the planting I'd ever done was like lima beans on my window school for a school project. So
Like-
moron
So you
to
get
moron.
it. Well, now you're okay.
I'm,
so you were
I'm
a moron.
right there with you. Yes. All the
So how'd you get
demoroning
into
I've
this?
done.
Now I gotta ask. Like, how? So someone who had no background in gardening and farming, how do you get involved in something like this?
You know, I was trying to write an article about some buddies of mine who opened a pizzeria in Bushwick, Brooklyn called Roberta's.
Sure.
I wanted to write about their sort of sustainability initiatives.
Yeah.
I'd written for magazines back before the print media, industry kind of crashed.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get back into it because I've been working in restaurants for years for a guy named Joe Bastianich, who's the sort of the business mind behind Batali Bastianich restaurant group. So Del Posto, Babbo, Otto, all those Italian American restaurants you know and love in New York City. And I wanted to get out from behind my desk and start writing again. But it wasn't until I started interviewing these guys. They were talking about building some gardens on top of shipping containers in their backyard. They had no plan as to how to really do it, and I'm a planner. So I ended up helping them plan it. Then I ended up helping to do it. And that's when I realized doing is way more fun than writing about it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you fell into it. You literally fell into it.
Totally got lucky, met the right people at the right time, learned everything I know about growing from my partners, Ben Flanner, who's an amazing rooftop farmer, and Gwen Chance. But ultimately, you learn a lot more by doing than you do by
watching
reading.
or by saying. So tell me what you grow here at the Grange, like from what to what. I mean, obviously those greens, by the way, honestly, and I'm not even just saying this because we're here, it didn't need anything. Okay, that was amazing. It just I want more, to be honest with you. I'm begging for more. But tell me what you grow here.
Yeah, we grow a ton of greens. They are definitely our primary crop, but we grow all sorts of things. One of our favorite crops are shishito peppers. Shishito peppers are a classic menu item on New York City restaurant menus. These are mostly, you hammer them in a cast iron, you blister them a little bit, maybe you hit them with some lime and some salt, and then you just eat them. You pop them in your mouth. They're like a great snack. Now the thing about shishitos is that 1 in every 6 or 7 of them is hot. So, do you want to do a little pepper roulette?
I love.
Right.
Oh, 1 in 6 and 7.
1 in 6 or 7 is hot.
So we might both have not hot ones.
Might both have, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You're probably lying to me. Probably like everyone's hot.
No.
It's not hot.
Not hot.
Is this all? So this whole row is shishito peppers?
Mine's hot.
Oh, it is?
Oh, mine got hot at the end.
That's funny.
Oh no.
Right? Like how hot?
Oh, it's pretty hot.
Like really spicy.
It's actually pretty. It's
All
not
right.
like habanero hot, but
it gets it. It works.
woo.
That's funny.
All right, I lost.
How come though when I order shishito peppers, you never it's not like I've never had a hot one.
Well, you will. You're just getting
I
lucky.
never knew that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, what happened is that we tried to breed the heat, not we personally, but people tried to breed the heat out of these peppers. But nature had other ideas.
It's the best part.
Yeah.
The heat's the best part.
Agree.
So what do we have over here?
Here you're going to see cucumbers at the end of their lifespan. Now, cucumbers love to do this sort of dramatic death throes thing. Every year they get quite a bit of this powdery mildew on them. We don't use any fungicides. We don't use any chemical fertilizers, pesticides, none of that. So, hi Danielle.
Hello, hello.
Going well. So,
speaking of the cucumbers.
You're going to see, speaking of cucumbers, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a beauty.
And shishito peppers.
So, you are going to see some less than fabulous looking plants, but as you can see from what Danielle was just walking by with, that doesn't mean that the fruits they're producing aren't going to be every bit as delicious.
And these are tomatoes, I'm guessing?
And we've got Tomato Town on the other side of the farm. We should cruise through there and try a couple. That's just a rogue row that ended up over here.
Oh,
So we ran out
delicious.
of room back there.
So 100% organic, right? Everything up here.
We're not certified, but that might change. We might try and get ourselves certified in the future because the fact of the matter is, the conversation on organic certification in this country is evolving. We want to be part of that conversation. So that may change in the future. But yeah, we do farm according to organic practices. And this is an amazing thing. It's August, folks.
Oh, look at that strawberry.
Not strawberry season. What's this strawberry doing here? I don't know. Just felt
So
like
funny, actually. We have a strawberry bush on our terrace, and we actually have 2 strawberries coming out of it.
Yeah, they're
So
funny
that's
like
not
that.
normal?
No, that's not normal.
That's
but,
funny. Yeah, just the other day.
Hey, I'm never going to turn down a strawberry, right?
Never gonna
So-
turn down, especially one that you grew,
Yeah.
right?
Do you like basil?
I like everything. I think.
Basil. I am going to give you guys
Yeah.
a little taste of our basil medley. Let's walk down. I'll show you.
Basil medley sounds so.
So we grow a couple different kinds of basil here. This is sweet Italian basil. This is opal basil, this nice purpley looking stuff. Now I like this better for our CSA members because it tends to last a little bit longer than the sweet Italian basil. So this is a great basil to bring to market. Everybody knows it, everybody loves it, right?
Yep.
You put it in your tomato salad. This is same type of flavor, give it a taste. Same smell, you know, it smells pretty familiar. It's just gonna hold on a little bit longer than that green basil. And for those folks at home who are wondering, why does my basil go bad in the fridge so quickly? Don't put it in the fridge. Put it in a glass of water like a bouquet of flowers. Drape a bag over it just loosely. Put it in a room that doesn't get a lot of sunlight, and you will get days. Change that water once every couple days, and you're going to get a lot more life out of your basil.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
So we love opal basil, but we're also...
You want to taste it, Lloyd?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
We're also huge fans of this lime basil. This is, as I like to say, a cocktail basil. Not your typical basil. Does not,
Yeah,
it's
wow,
really
the
tropical,
smell, oh my God.
fruity. Makes a really great cocktail. It's great in desserts, great in fruit salads. This is really a wholesale basil. We have trouble moving this at market because
People
folks don't know how to use it.
Yeah, they don't know what to do. Well, could you cook with this?
You sure can. I love to put it with like fresh melon in like a little melon salad,
delicious,
maybe a
man.
little feta cheese or
I
some
smell the
goat cheese.
citrus. I mean, it's very, very citrusy.
It's
That's
people have
amazing.
said
You make an
Fruit
amazing
Loops.
drink.
That's
it would
really,
make an amazing
yeah.
drink.
I muddle it fresh, or I
Oh.
make a syrup out of it, and I put it in cocktails, and it is.
So I was just gonna ask you about
Yeah.
the sunflowers. Why so many sunflowers?
So that's a great question. As we walk around here, you'll notice that we're on a big flat roof, right?
Yeah.
And if we look off the edge here, you can see that we're right on the East River, and we're pretty high up. This is an 11-story building. So what do you get when you're near the river, high up, and you've got a big flat expanse?
I probably should know, but I don't know.
Wind.
Wind.
It's windy. And we don't have trees to act as windbreaks. It is deceptively still right now, so you're probably thinking it's not that windy, but it is, I promise you,
It's normally windy.
360 days out of the year,
Yeah.
it's pretty breezy up here. So these sunflowers act as windbreaks to some degree. They help break up the wind so our crops don't get whipped around too badly.
Interesting.
They're also really terrific for pollinators, and we love pollinators. So we keep over 30 beehives all around New York City, but we also like to make life better for native pollinators, migratory pollinators, visitors like this. Don't know what that is, but guaranteed that is some sort of pollinating insect that's doing our ecosystem a favor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever sell the sunflowers as well, or not really?
We do, and I'm just starting. I'm very excited to learn that you can cook sunflower heads the same way as you cook an artichoke heart, or very similarly.
Never. You can eat sunflowers?
Apparently, and I'm just learning this information. So
Interesting.
check back soon, and I
And
will
we'll
have
come
tried.
back, yeah,
I'm really eager because artichokes are like my
Are
favorite
awesome.
food.
Yeah.
And the one thing, well, one of the very few things we don't grow up here.
There's an artichoke. Why?
Artichokes.
Is there a reason?
Just not going to be happy in our conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everything wants to grow on a rooftop in Brooklyn. I know, crazy, but you know.
And now I did see. I was telling you. I saw that you guys have. Well, you're packaging certain things now. So you have the hot sauces.
That's right.
I saw those. Do you have plans to starting a food line, or like what's the plan as far as that goes?
We are always scaling up the amount of hot sauce that we produce just because the demand for it is just crazy.
Yeah.
We can't fill the demand. And we love making it. But products, packaged products are not, our forte.
That's not your goal.
We grow fresh produce. Our plan is to actually expand the amount of green space in this city and engage as many people as possible with those green spaces. And we do that through two very different means. One is by bringing people to our spaces, our farms. We have an amazing events program, which we can check out our events.
I saw that you do dinners here, right? You do dinners
we do
here.
dinners. They sold out in
They're
about
all sold
24
out.
hours
Yeah,
this
they're all
year.
sold out. Really? That quickly?
We used to have to beg people to buy tickets, and now we can't keep the tickets. We get
Who cooks for
frustrated.
those dinners? Who cooks the dinner?
Mostly chefs that we work with,
Yeah.
catering partners. We work quite a bit with the caterer who's next door, Winston Chu at Bon Bite. We did a really fantastic zero waste dinner with him earlier this year called the Compost Dinner. That produced exactly zero waste. The only things that were...
What was the menu? Like, what was the menu for that dinner?
So the menu for that dinner was a little bit different.
Yeah.
We primarily used foods that were difficult for our partners to sell or that were going to end up in the trash. He made a really terrific coconut curry with fish heads and cheeks. We had some off-cut meat made into a sausage. That was really delicious. We had some stale bread that was just like a day past its prime that he actually turned into a dessert. That was really phenomenal. So it was really all about sort of learning to work with these different food elements that we typically shun because it's a lot more challenging than, you know, taking a pork chop out of the package, salt and peppering it, throwing it in a hot pan. But these are the cuts of meat, the cuts of fish, the types of vegetables, the preparations that we need to start getting comfortable with if we're going to reduce the amount of food waste that we produce. We are currently throwing away 40% of the food that we produce. Now keep in mind, that's not just like the actual material you scrape off your plate into the garbage. It takes, for example, an orange. If you eat an orange, hopefully it's a delicious orange, and then you throw the peel away.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not a delicious orange. Maybe it's one of those dry oranges that you're like, this orange not doing it for me. You throw that orange away, you just dumped 14 gallons of water down the drain because that's how much it takes to produce a single orange. So
what should you do? So you should take that orange and make an orange au jus sauce or something. Is that what you're saying, or whatever?
Absolutely, yeah. Marinades.
Do something with it.
If you're a cocktail person, I have like 10 million.
You keep bringing up cocktails.
I know. Well,
this would be great in a cocktail. It is actually.
You did show up at
that is true. That is true. Had I known you had such amazing basil, I would have brought.
You wanted to talk about breakfast? Get here at 8 a.m.
That's true. That's true.
It's happening. So no, you can do a lot with a citrus peel. I actually use citrus peels. I throw them in white vinegar and I clean my apartment with them because New York City has a very bad combined sewage overflow problem. We're not able to manage all of our sewage. And so oftentimes if it's raining heavily, you can count, if you live especially in a high priority area along a waterfront, you're probably, some of what you're throwing down your drain is going directly into the local waterways untreated. This is true of a lot of older cities, and New York City is taking a really proactive approach to dealing with it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, what that means for you and me is if it's a really rainy day, skip the Ajax. Maybe clean with white vinegar and baking soda that day, because that stuff is going to end up right in our marine ecosystems, and it's going to cause huge problems.
The problem is, I think, I can speak for me because I'm a moron, right? I have no idea about this stuff. So we need to educate people at first. I mean, I don't do the cleaning in my household. Thank you, honey. But, I'm just
heteronormative.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Sorry,
I don't,
honey.
but I would never know you could clean with an orange peel and whatever else.
That's what we are here to do. So let's be real.
Yeah.
Urban farms are never going to feed entire cities.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What is the real purpose of an urban farm?
Great question.
We believe that it is engaging urbanites with food, farming, and also just nature. Like, a lot of folks don't have a car. It takes longer and longer to get out of this city and into green space.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks who come and visit the farm, it's not just food and farming that's unfamiliar to them, because farming is, of course, increasingly taking place behind closed doors, out of sight. People don't want you to know where your food is coming from. But also just nature is unfamiliar to us. Again, as a city kid, I was terrified of bees. I did not know that certain things grew under the ground. The first time I pulled a carrot out of the ground was a huge thrill to me.
Yeah.
So we really
You don't
believe
have carrots
that,
here, do you?
Oh yeah, we've got
You
carrots.
do? Really?
Do you want to do it?
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I mean,
let's go see the chickens first.
For